everybody, today we're going to talk about the fear of failure. It's very common, so we're going to talk about what causes it and how we can overcome it. Now when I was doing my research, because you guys know I do a lot of reading and writing and research for you because I love you and I hope that these videos are helpful and educational, but when I was reading about fear of failure, I came across this word everywhere in all the articles and all of the chatter amongst other psychologists is phobia. And I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'll put it on the screen so you know what it looks like. And I looked into the DSM, and because there are so many different phobias, the DSM just has something called specific phobia, and that just pretty much means that you have a marked fear or anxiety about a specific object or situation. So my guess is that this would fit into specific phobia, and phobia may just be the more specific term. Now when it comes to fear of failure, there are many causes, but the two most common are, number one, extremely unsupportive or critical parents. I'm looking down at my notes to make sure I say it just right. When they have really high expectations for us and they make negative or derogatory comments when we're growing up, that can follow us throughout our life and really hinder us and make us really critical of ourselves, impair our self-esteem and confidence, and overall just hold us back. The second most common are traumatic experiences or past failures. An example that they gave was when a child is giving a speech in class and maybe he wets his pants. And that can be horribly embarrassing. And every time he goes up to do something, he's like, it's gonna happen again. I'm gonna be terrible. I'm gonna get so anxious. I'm gonna pee my pants. This is gonna be horrible. And therefore will not do something because they're so afraid of what could happen. The way fear of failure can present itself to us and how it can feel is, number one, having extremely low self-esteem. If we're always worried that we're not going to be good enough, we're not going to do enough, we're always going to be a failure, you can see how low confidence or low self-esteem would play into it. And the second is perfectionism. A lot of people who are so afraid of failing won't do anything unless they know they can do it perfectly or they can do it by themselves. They often don't like group projects or anything like that because they want to make sure they have full control so that they can only release it or turn it in or do the thing when it is quote unquote perfect. Another component is anxiety. Many who struggle with fear of failure feel extremely anxious. A lot of them have panic attacks. Some will have night terrors where they wake up like screaming or have night sweats. And so you can see, because phobias are an anxiety disorder, you can see how fear of failure, which is a phobia, would obviously have an anxiety component as well. The other two are kind of tied together, and that is failure in relationships or jobs, because we will kind of pull ourselves out of a situation before we could potentially fail. And the other is self-sabotage. And I have a video I just put out about that, so you can click the link in the description to check that out. But those, you can see how they're kind of tied together, right? We'll do things because we're so afraid of being a quote-unquote failure that we will remove ourselves from situations, we'll quit early, we won't engage, we will only go on a couple dates and then not want to see somebody again because what if something happens? What if I am let down again, or if I'm a failure again? Obviously, there are a lot of symptoms when it comes to fear of failure or phobia. And so I want to hear from you. Those are just the ones that I read about, but leave in the comments, how does it feel to you? What are the symptoms that you struggle with most? Because I think together with my research base and your experience, we get the best result and we can learn the most. So please let us know how it feels for you. And let's roll right into treatment, because don't worry, it gets better. Now, the interesting thing when I was researching the treatment of fear of failure is that a lot of people talked about setting small goals and working with a life coach or a therapist and just having them kind of guide you and keep you on track so that they notice when we're self-sabotaging or notice when we're setting, a perfectionistic goal, and they can try to rein us in and help us set small, achievable goals throughout the day and the week, etc. The two types of therapy they talked about being the most beneficial for those who struggle with fear of failure is talk therapy, CBT-based, and exposure therapy. And you can see how both of those would work. And I have videos on each of them, so you can click the links in the description to check them out. But CBT works because it helps challenge those maybe falsely held beliefs that we're always going to fail and that we're terrible. And exposure therapy can really help because we can slowly challenge it by visualizing it, then by doing it and calming ourselves down. Because obviously, like I said, this is an anxiety disorder. Therefore, we're going to have to find ways to help calm our system down so we can keep challenging that until we get to the point where we're able to go through with something that we normally would avoid and feel perfectly safe, calm, and happy about it. It was really interesting when I was researching the treatment because almost all of the articles said, Don't just give them medication. That is not a treatment option on its own because it just masks the symptoms. And that's pretty much what I say for everything. Medication can help us get our head above water, like the water being our symptoms, right? It can help us get in control of them just enough that we can use the behavioral techniques, do the exposure therapy, work in therapy to feel better. And so know that medication itself is not recommended. We really need to have a treatment team on board. I hope you found this helpful. This, of all the topics that I offered, got the most votes on my Patreon monthly survey. And if you want more information about Patreon, you can click the link in the description and check it out. But I hope this helped clear things up, help you understand what causes it, what symptoms you may feel or experience if you struggle with this, and most importantly, what treatment options are available, because it does get better and we can overcome it. And like I said, share in the comments how it felt for you, maybe some treatment options that were great for you, because together we can learn more and we can get better one step at a time towards a healthy mind and a healthy body. I will see you all next time. Bye!